All right, great. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Faith and Fandom Friday feedback, uh, weekly pseudo news show that, if you need to depend on me to get your news, you're welcome to. But this is stuff you probably already know anyway. But just felt like sharing it with you and kind of touching base with y'all on a weekly basis. So I hope you're doing good. And this is for the week of the 23rd of December through the 29th. So Christmas week, basically. We made it through Christmas, and now we're in that week where literally nobody knows what to do with their life because Christmas is over and it's not the new year yet. And you're, just kind of floating in the ether, living off leftovers and uh probably going through existential midlife to quarter life crises as you see fit. But yeah, it's been a good week. I do genuinely hope you had a great Christmas. I did, and am grateful for all the ways that God bless me and that y'all have been such a blessing to me through Faith and Fandom and through everything else. And y'all have been a great source of encouragement. But yeah, let's jump into some news. We got our first Doctor Who Christmas special since 2017. I'll say that one more time because it probably doesn't sound right, but it's accurate. We got our first Doctor Who Christmas special since 2017. The last Doctor Who Christmas special was 2017. The Twice Upon a Time, the episode where Capaldi regenerated into Jodie. And then after that, the series kept taking hiatuses, and they switched from Christmas specials to New Year's specials. And so this past couple days ago, Christmas was our first actual Christmas special since 2017. And that's kind of crazy with that. But I'm excited for it. It was a good experience. And I'll say this, like, because every time the Doctor getting cast is like Batman or the Joker getting cast. Everybody's got strong opinions, whether they have a reason to or not, because it's just something you feel moderately passionate about, and that you feel like you definitely need to have a voice in, even if you don't have something to say. Um, I will say this based on the Giggle episode, the episode where uh Shuti, which is by my understanding of the gentleman's name, where Shuti became the Doctor. Um, I wasn't overly impressed with him as the Doctor. I did enjoy him and the way that he was compassionate towards himself and towards Tennant. Um, that being said, I think he really left a solid mark and impression on who he was going to be as the Doctor with this episode. Um, I thought it was a really solid episode of Doctor Who. It felt very classic. You can 1000% tell this is Russell T Davies doing his thing. I honestly thought that Ruby Sunday, the new companion, had a lot of charisma. Um, and that the Doctor had a lot of strength. I enjoyed it. It was I liked this episode better than all of the David Tennant specials. Um, maybe. um, but I mean, this episode was creative and fun, and it wasn't like I was seeing reruns. Uh, the Doctor broke out in song, like full musical song. So did his companion. There was a goblin band, and it very much felt like this episode was borrowed a lot from Labyrinth, especially dealing with like Goblin Kings and Dark Crystal. It had that vibe. The one thing I'll say that it's not even that big of a deal to a lot of people, but I really enjoyed about the episode was there was a band, musical band of goblins, and one of those goblins was named Gob Dylan. I'm a big Bob Dylan fan, and so I found that rather hilarious, and I just snickered and smirked to myself, even if nobody else cared. But Doctor Who did premiere. I thought it was a solid episode. To my understanding, the season will really take off in March, and we'll get to see more of the Doctor and Ruby Sunday in that capacity. And yeah, if you had some feelings about this episode specifically, just this episode, um, like yeah, you should definitely check it out. If you have some feelings about this episode, go ahead and comment um about how you feel about it. And while we're on the air, I'll be glad to share it as well or enter into that discussion with you. But yeah, Doctor Who news. Moving forward with that. Let's see. Movie box offices size for the Christmas week. Um Aquaman opened with a $107 million opening week. So in the 1 week the Aquaman's been out, it has grossed $107 million. And that's continuing the trend of the DCEU not going out with a bang, but with a whimper. I watched it, and it was fun, but at the same time, I don't know that I truly cared through the whole process. It was more like I have to be here because I'm legally required to watch every DCEU film in theaters, which I have done. Um, I subsequently, if you truly care about this, I did a podcast ranking all 18 projects of the DCEU, uh, and from least favorite to favorite. If you want to check that out, but Aquaman opened with 107 million. And real quick, I should have done this. I failed to do it beforehand because I'm not a professional journalist in this capacity. Aquaman 2's budget was 205 million. So as it stands, um, as it currently sits, it does not look like it's going to make its budget quickly if it does. Shazam 2 ended its theatrical run with where is that? 133 million. So Aquaman could potentially beat Shazam 2. And as much as I love Shazam and Zachary Levi, that's still not quite an accomplishment at this point. And it's that thing of the DCEU dying out is we're going to get a year to mourn it, and then 2025 we kick off with Superman Legacy, and see how it goes. And I said this in my DC podcast ranking or DC ranking podcast. I'm old, and you know I don't know how many more iterations of movie franchises I've got left, so I need DC to pull this off moving forward and make this next run good, because I don't know if I'm going to live to see like the run after James Gunn's. So Lord willing, we'll get some great DC content coming up. But yeah, Aquaman 2 comes in at 107 million for its opening week, and Shazam 2 only hit 133 million in the box office. On the reverse end of things, I mentioned on last week's thing that the Willy Wonka or the Wonka producers wanted to pull off 250 million in theaters to consider their movie a success, a hit. They needed it to more than double its budget. And as at the time of recording this morning, Wonka is officially sitting at 263 million. So the Willy Wonka producers have met their goal, and still have the whole weekend to go within its first week of opening. So that's great for them. Also, on a side note, the Color Purple musical, as it stands, opening Christmas or the week of Christmas, is sitting at 18.5 million. And I watched all three of these. I watched Aquaman, Wonka, and The Color Purple. And yeah, Color Purple is an emotional journey. It's a musical, so so is Wonka. Wonka is light and fluffy. Aquaman is a fever dream of Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, the water level from Zelda, and a bottle of NyQuil. Um, and so yeah, Aquaman 2 definitely was that. But I enjoyed all three theatrical experiences. I'd say Color Purple was the best of the three, in terms of quality and presentation. Wonka, then Aquaman. But yeah, that's our movie box offices for the week. Did you guys see any movies over Christmas? What'd you see? Let me know. Um, News of stuff, just not news of streaming things. A brand new Pokemon series premiered yesterday. Pokemon Concierge on Netflix is a stop motion Pokemon show like Coraline without the depression. And it is a stop motion Pokemon show that gives you a full vibe ride of cozy gaming. So if you enjoy warm and fuzzy, if you enjoy cozy gaming, if you enjoy Pokemon just being cute, like if you like playing Pokemon Snap or things like that, where you just watch it, play it for the cute factor, um, then this is definitely something up your alley. Um, I'm actually really looking forward to just kind of binging through it and enjoying the cuteness. But yeah, Pokemon Concierge, it's on Netflix, new series, warm and fuzzy Pokemon goodness. Uh, Also, just to make on a news note of notable things, as previously mentioned, What If from Marvel is on its season 2. They started on the 22nd and they are premiering a new episode every day for the rest of the year. And the episodes have been great. Two that I do want to mention. One is on Christmas Eve, they released a Die Hard special where Happy Hogan pulls off Die Hard in Avengers Tower. And if that sounds fun to you, it was. And yeah, they're literally mentioning John McClane and quoting Die Hard, and to the point where Justin Hammer does the fall from Nakatomi Plaza off of Avengers Tower. So if you're a Die Hard fan, this is the most Christmas, most Die Hard special you've gotten since then. But the big news of Marvel What If, and I'm going to butcher words here, but my heart's in the right place. Um, the One of the episodes that premiered is What If Kahori Reshaped the World? And this is an episode that introduces, by a description I read, the first indigenous antagonist for the MCU. As what she's labeled, created simply for the MCU. And in this episode, one of the things that makes it most unique is that for the majority of the episode, it is completely spoken in the Mohawk language, which is a huge, feat in terms of Native American representation, and indigenous peoples in that capacity. So that's pretty neat. And so that is out. There's more to come, but I would definitely say the heart is really strong in What If season 2. And then not a lot of news that, again, like, this is the week of Christmas where there's not a lot going on. Everybody's kind of waiting for the new year for everything. Last thing is, if you've ever heard of the 75 hard challenge, it's a pretty intense challenge where um you do a lot of stuff. You do, oh gosh, it's like you do two 45-minute workouts a day. One of them has to be outside. You have to drink a gallon of water every day. You have to post photos. Some iterations include a cold shower, stuff like that. Well, the there is a speaker slash author named Jonathan Pacluda. I'm gonna guess that's right. He released a challenge this week called the 365 Not So Hard. And with the 365 not so hard, why I'm mentioning this is because it also incorporates more spiritual content with it. And if you are looking for a challenge to start off your new year, this could be a solid one for you. The 365 not so hard has a 1 year challenge where your goal is to read one chapter of scripture a day, spend 15 minutes praying each day. I'm going to read this so I don't botch it completely. Read at least one chapter in the Bible per day, spend 15 minutes praying away from technology, work out for at least 15 minutes, run weights, whatever. Drink half your body weights in ounces. So if you're 200 pounds, you would drink 100 fluid ounces. And let me just state for the record, you're not supposed to physically drink more than a gallon of water a day. So if you're a heavier person, make sure that you aren't ending up drinking more than that based on that equation. And then no eating after 8 p.m. So I shared that on my personal Facebook page. If you have an interest in just a challenge to start your year off, there you go. Sounds like I'm contemplating over it for this year. A year's a long commitment for anything, but yeah. And yeah, that's basically it for the news. Just if you've got stuff that you want to share or comment on, make sure you leave a comment in wherever you listen to or watch this, and love to hear from you. Just to also let you know, on Faith and Fandom book progress, my editor for Faith and Fandom 9 told me he is actively editing and plans to give me the book by January 6th. We'll see. I believe in him. I believe in Harvey Dent. On the comic book that I've written, all of the primary inks and pencils are done and just needs to be scanned and the words formatted, and also shooting to have that. My goal is to have both books, if possible, by Captain's Comics Expo at the end of February, or online sooner than that. But before I go, I want to say thanks for taking time to listen. There'll be more podcast content coming up in the new year. I've got a Bible Thump devotional for Love Thy Nerd coming up, and then the second half of the season for my podcast with just random folks of coolness, and the pull list coming up in February. But before I bounce, I want to take a moment to thank our Patreon supporters, because y'all help make all of this possible. Jamie Montgomery, Matthew Coleman, Jonathan Herman, Ron Petit, Tesh Norton, Scott Ward, Alicia Benson, Candace Davis, Jay Sheed, Jillian, Jason Crutchfield, Mike Perna, Todd Turner, John Jacobs, Zach Harris, Caleb Grimm, Jeanette Skaggs, Chris Poirier, Jason Bullock, Christina Ray, Sarah Lewis, Patrick Gale, Rebecca Godlove, and Adam Davis. And if you're saying, man, that's a lot of Patreon supporters, it is. And I am grateful for all 24 of them. And if you want to be a Patreon supporter, that would be awesome. But you can be from $1 on. Just be a prayer partner, help pay for podcasting, whatever. But just say thanks for being a part of it. I look forward to getting new books out to you soon. And thanks for sharing memes, liking posts, and thanks for just being here. I appreciate you. I hope you've had a very Merry Christmas, and that your new year is encouraging, and that God really blesses you through all that is going on. Thanks for taking time to listen and to be part of this. And I'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody. And I'm going to find the awkward button to turn this off and say goodbye. So, goodbye now.